Welcome to Brindlewood Bay. It's the next day after our autumn fair where the Great Grievous was blowed up by something, and Trudy Tellers has been suspected of the crime. I'm Meaker, your keeper. Doris, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'm Doris Mackowiak, played by Shannon Wade, and I'm suspicious of the sheriff and anyone connected to him, and definitely also Esther.
Fantastic. Eddi-Rue.
Hello, Eddi-Rue Dubois, played by Chris Diercksen. Gosh, who am I not suspicious of? I'm suspicious of a lot of people, but I'm a little suspicious of Etienne. Actually, my beau, that may or may not have something to do with the information we learned about the bar that he's trying to open up. That was very much connected to, because I should also say I'm very suspicious of the sheriff, who we still haven't seen, but apparently is not doing his job. And I'm worried about that shit.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating. Bebe.
Hi, I'm Bebe, and I'm Problem. I'm played by Kory. What's up, everyone? Let's talk about who we're suspicious of. Obviously, the sheriff. That's just anyone that's related to Esther has to be deeply rooted in evil. I think it's hereditary, like the movie. So, yeah, we're coming for you. I also just hate Esther, but yeah, definitely the sheriff. 10 out of 10 sus. Curious about the tattoo, but we'll table that for later.
Awesome. Lane
Walther, played by Ben Ferber. I have to say the name to get in character. I'm Lane Walther. You know, it's you gotta do the voice. Anyway, Lane is also deeply suspicious of the police and the law system in the town. Whoever actually did this is clearly in bed with them to prevent anything from being figured out of what more vast conspiracy is going on in Brindlewood Bay.
Awesome. All right, so we are going to jump into our cozy places that have become kind of less cozy over time for some of you and not others. Let's start with somebody who is still very, very cozy. Bebe, what are you doing on this morning after the blowed up magician?
So I am sipping tea outside because I'm assuming Lane is still in my house, which means I don't want to be anywhere near it. I'm sipping tea, smoking a cigarette, and looking in the tiny little holes in my fence in Frank's yard. We'll explain later.
I love it. All right, Lane, let's go to you. Are you at Baby's?
Yeah, Lane has now brought a comforter and a pillow over to Baby's and has set up shop in. Does Baby have? You know how sometimes there's like stairs up to a second floor, and then there's like an open hallway that like looks down on the first floor.
Yeah, like a loft, but with rooms.
Yeah, she's set up there as her space because it seems to be out of the way, even though there's, like 3 or 4 doors that you have to step over her to get into. And has basically spent the entire night. She also got a videotape from her bedroom. Fortunately, this one was not in the living room, of her in a failed Tim Rice musical, and has fully essentially lip synced to the entire musical twice, including lines that were not hers. And she stole it from Lincoln Center, by the way. This is not like released on any video. She went to Lincoln Center. She got the pro shot from the Lincoln Center library. It's just now in her possession forever. So that has definitely like calmed her down, as every time she has looked at a television, she just starts to see apparitions that are perhaps there or perhaps not. So she has just done it sort of in the window while listening to it on the television.
Fantastic. Lane, have you called your agent?
Lane tried again to use. She attached another stick to the. She attached another stick to the grabber that she had, and did like get. She did like get the number dialed, because unfortunately I think it was the most recent number. So she just had to hit the redial button. And if you would like to play that scene, I am willing to do that as Lane across the room.
I would love to play that scene.
Let me just do a thing. All right.
You can hear me. It sounds like I'm far away, right?
It does indeed sound like that, honey. How are you?
Okay, I'm doing wonderful. I'm having a little problem with my living room, but it's all is well. You'll just have to speak up a little bit because you're on speakerphone. No one else is here except for maybe some demons. Don't worry about it.
Fantastic. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Well, I mean, if you've got my messages, then you know what's going on, right? Like they really want you for this part, and you don't want it to go to Alice and Janney. Alice and Janney is a hack, just a hack. We really want you for View from a Bridge. This is happening if you want it, Lane. Lane, this will revitalize your career. It's going to be big for you, huge. Do you want this?
I am interested. I have some other business going on at home right now, but as long as I can do the business around this role, that's fine.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
I will have to be here 4 days a week.
But you want this role, and you can hear her voice has completely changed.
Absolutely. Listen, we could talk about an understudy deal. You know, perhaps Allison can understudy me. This is what I'm getting at. So we're all happy here.
Fantastic. So, Lane, darling, and you can tell now she has never actually called you darling. This is not your agent. She says, if you want this to be true, if you want to revive your dead career, Lane, then all you have to do is help the midwives of the Fragrant Void.
Lane smacks the phone
easy.
with the grabber, and she hits she tries to hit the hang up button, and she hits a number button and just goes and then unhits the button and says, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Could you put my actual agent on? And then she hits the actual hang up button.
Fantastic. Well, let's check in with Doris. Doris, how are you doing on this morning?
Doris is doing okay. She had some weird dreams and is trying really hard to shake them off. So she's kind of just walking around her house with more sort of absent-mindedness than is normal for her. And she's put the kettle on for tea. And while it's boiling, she's gonna sit in her living room and just try to start a letter to her friend Ethel a few towns over, because that's what she does when exciting things happen or scary things happen, like Ginger and her developing relationship, and a guy blowing up and getting hung. So she's gonna start writing this letter, and she kind of writes, Dear Ethel, and then kind of stares off into space and is sort of not knowing where to start the letter, and also her mind's going a million different directions. And then she looks back down at the stationery, and the ink from the pen has just sort of flowed out in an inexplicable way, and it's making sort of a vague shape of the mask, the smooth mask with the eye holes. And then Doris is like, oh, and then she kind of looks again and it's gone. And then the kettle goes off loudly. So she has to start her cup of tea.
I love that. Did you talk to Ginger at all after everything that happened? Did she walk you home? Anything like that?
Yeah, I think she walked me home, and we sort of just tried to debrief everything, and kind of said goodnight on the doorstep. Maybe shared a little kiss, and it was very nice. And we're gonna have coffee tomorrow at the Cup of Nothing.
I love it. All right.
That is so cute.
Eddi-Rue. So you had some pretty strange dreams last night after seeing everything that you've been seeing and dealing with. And this one opens in a particularly odd way because you're playing a game of chess. Have you ever played a game of chess?
Oh, yes.
You're playing this game of chess with Teddy. And you're both laughing and having a good time, you know. She moves a piece, you're drinking mint and juleps. You're having such a wonderful time. And she says, "Oh, come on, now tell me about Etienne. I know that you love him. I know that you're in love with him." And you say back something like, "Oh, I've already pressed him in my book. It's over and done."
Absolutely not.
And she moves another piece and she says, it's your move. And you look down at all the pieces and you realize as you start to look at them and you're trying to figure out your move, you realize that each of these chess pieces is carved like a person from town. The rooks look like they might be Esther and Wyman Dalrymple. The bishops looks like maybe it's Jenna McAllister. The knights looks like maybe it's Janice Owens or Xavier Dearborn. These people are just sort of like floating in and out. And the queen maybe is Wendy Wales and Dr. Banerjee. And the king on both sides looks like it's Demeter Dendry. But then you look down even further and you realize that all the pawns, every single one, is Teddy. But her face looks so weird, and you're holding it in your hand in this dream, and you can see that her face keeps changing like a tragedy and comedy mask. It just keeps like that smooth, featureless mask. It just keeps shape-shifting. And you say her name, and you look at her, and you see that her face is doing the exact same thing in front of you. It is sort of like weaving up and down, except she no longer has any eyes. And blood is dripping down her face. And she says, your move. And you wake up.
Is in a cold sweat, certainly. And tries to roll over and realizes that Frank is still in the bed. And so she kicks Frank and says, go home. And then she gets up. She starts to go to the parlor. And then instead, she makes a sort of like she bypasses the parlor and goes to the den. And in the den is a chest that she keeps that she doesn't really open very often. But in that chest is a lot of sort of like paraphernalia, old stuff from life before Brindlewood Bay. And in it, she opens it and sort of like takes a look at all of these old First Communion pictures from her daughter. And this little rosary that's in there as she looks up. And she sort of like calms herself a little bit in this moment. And she looks up and and she sees sort of like in the reflection of one of her pressed flowers, one of her glass frames with pressed flowers, she sees that old shape again for a moment. And it disappears as it always does. And she just sort of grabs the rosary and pockets it and goes back up into her room, and Frank is gone.
And this was Frank Spitznagel, correct?
Oh, yes, absolutely. First time, only time. I got him drunk.
You got him drunk after the after his best friend was blowed up.
Oh, wait. Yeah, well, yeah, at this point I have to. At this point I've done it. I forgot about that part. But yes, 100%. I saw a vulnerable man. And in my moment of vulnerability, I shot my shot. And I don't miss.
I love that. That's pretty great. I don't know how you're going to tell Baby that, but you know.
I'm going to smack you with my spoon.
I'll let her in on the. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna. A lady never tells exactly what happened. But
No. You gotta do the 30. You gotta give me the details. I got beef.
Listen, what do the kids call it? I don't know. It's so naughty to say the words out loud, baby. He just finger blasted me. That's all. And then I made him go to bed. Then he fell asleep, which is what I wanted.
I love it so much. So we're going to kind of do this like a split scene because you all are about to get the same message on your machine. By all means, interrupt me as you're getting this. But you're getting this this wonderful message, and it says, "Hello, this is Dean Olin Dearborn. You know me. You were there last night. You wrongly arrested my brother and poked around after the tragic death of the Great Grievous. You remember? Good. Okay. I am begging you. Please do not meddle in this. The school does not need this kind of attention, especially from inexperienced retired women playing detective. Do not bother Grievous's, Susan, what do you call it? Oh, husband. Don't bother Grievous's husband? Is sure it's that? Okay. Or his collaborators. They just wish to be left alone, and so do we all. I will not hesitate to get the sheriff involved. Okay? Good day. And it goes blank on the recording.
We're all in our own homes when this happens?
Yep.
Or I guess Lane is with Baby.
I think Lane does get that on the message machine after she has that conversation with the agent, and then she like also hits a bunch of wrong buttons. Like she does create a new voice message for herself, and it's just a bunch of beeps, and then her saying, "How do I get this thing up?" And that's the new message.
I think what Eddi-Rue does is she immediately steps outside and sees down the street everybody else just like coming out of their porch, all four of us all at the same time, and then we go to one of our houses.
You can all come to my house, and I think as you do, Doris is going to give out some rope to everybody, because it just seems like things are getting weird, and she wants everybody to have something to, I don't know what for, but she just wants to divvy out, it seems like a little bit of protection.
What kind of rope is this?
This is, I think it's that, like, good, like, really... The rope that you can get at the hardware store, that's pretty thick, but it's also like really itchy. Like it's got all the fibers sticking out of it.
And how long are these pieces?
They're like a coil, like a little coil, like maybe 4 feet of a little coil of a rope.
Fantastic. You can all add that to your cozy places. And this is just something I imagine Doris was doing because she was nervous. She was just like, I'm cutting rope.
Doris was like listening. I think Doris would probably heard that message, kind of rewound on her answering machine to like play some of the mysterious messages next to that one and see if the voice sounded familiar. And while she was re-listening was just like, something weird is happening. Better to be prepared. And she's wishing she had more like Bowie knives to hand out, but she's only got the one.
All right. What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Well, I fill everybody in on my dream, and I let everybody know that I let Frank,
Finger blast you.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it again. Listen. And it meant nothing. And
so does that mean we're even?
The two of us?
No, us and Frank.
Oh, I bet you I could make it so.
Don't do it again.
Baby, do you want anything? Do you want me to do anything? Like, you just let me know, okay? You just let me know, because now I got a little one over on him.
No, this is personal.
With Frank. You want to be... I see. Okay, cool.
Did he give the money back to the town?
I mean, he did. He did.
Because of the fingering.
Oh, that seems like a lot.
It sounds like you got to get fingered a couple more times.
No. It wasn't good. But seriously, back to the important things. So the dean is now threatening us. And all I'm trying to say is...
What is he going to do, expel us?
We're going to meddle, right? We got to figure this out.
Oh, yeah. We're in too deep to not meddle. And it's. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. You can't just put something like this, in the corner and cover it with your favorite Afghan. We got to figure it out.
Who can we talk to? Should we talk to the dean? That seems very straightforward. He doesn't want us to talk to his husband specifically. To the magician's husband specifically.
Which probably means he's a good guy to talk to. So
yeah.
Thanks, Dean. Seems like pointing us in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. So where are they staying? Because they're local, but do they have a house here? This is me asking Meeks.
Yes. So you know that they are staying at your old favorite, the Grand Prometheus, staying there. for reasons.
Interesting. Which means more rich and famous people. Lovely. My favorite.
Yeah, we could talk to Shannon there.
That's also true.
Our bestie.
Well, we could, should we, have you all heard of this thing called brunch?
We've literally been to brunch on one of our little adventures. So, yes.
I guess you're right. I guess I'm so sorry. Well, we could just, they didn't open. They weren't open for brunch that day. I hope they're open now. Do we think they're open now? Who has yellow pages?
Oh, I can look. And Doris is going to page to the Grand Prometheus and like look up their number. And then, well, it doesn't have their hours, but I'll just give them a call real quick. Ring.
Grand Prometheus Hotel.
Oh, yes. Hello. Are you still serving brunch today?
I believe so.
Great. Thank you. Click. It's good. We're on. Let's go.
Oh, finally. You know, the Bloody Marys, they did a little clam juice in there, a little clamato. It's a little bit like a half a Caesar, half a Bloody Mary, and I love it.
I'll have to try that.
I just normally have a whiskey. Neat.
What are you? It's not like, at a certain point, baby, you have to admit, you live in New England.
Tequila?
Oh! She's out the door.
New England's multicultural. I'm here.
She takes out her best Dooney and Burke purse and heads out the door. No. What are those wicker purses? You know the ones, the white painted wicker? That's what she has. Yes. It's a little cumbersome, a little boxy. She manages to fit all the stuff that she has in her cozy place in that wicker purse.
The glass chess set was in that.
It's a fucking picnic basket.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do you have a glass chess set in your cozy place? Fantastic! I did it entirely on purpose.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet, but actually, I did use it.
It's used
entirely on purpose. Fantastic. So we're heading to the Grand Prometheus Hotel to have brunch and to talk to Hornak, the Great Grievous's husband, and perhaps Shannon Doherty. And as we enter back in, I'm curious for you, as you come back into this place that is now not full of summer people, how have things changed?
As you can tell, none of us have ever gone to like boat restaurants.
I've been to a boat restaurant.
I've been once. This isn't like something that we see seasonally. So for the audience, we're doing our best, but please.
I have had I've been to Nantucket a couple of times. And it's horrifying, and could be great were it not for all the horrifying. I would say I feel like it's almost it's busier, that's for sure, and probably a little bit more comfortable in the off season. The menu's probably bigger, actually, and at least I don't know, somebody else.
I feel like there's a room or like a room that has a good view that people visiting would think, oh, this is the way to like see Brindlewood Bay. But none of the locals really want to sit there because it faces, like most of the view is taken up. Yeah, exactly. It's taken up by the Putty Chat shop. And so they've just kind of blocked that room off, and it just has like storage of like the nice summer linens and boxes of and things they'd put outside to attract the visitors in. And so nobody wants that room except when the rich people are here.
And they have better music.
Define better, Eddi-Rue.
Me? Oh. The hits of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and today.
It's a lot of like Mamas and the Papas and Crosby,
Stills,
Stills,
all the
Nash
leaves are
and
brown.
Young.
Some Biggie, yeah.
No. It's 1997. I think Biggie just died, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think there's not a parrot there anymore because they only rent the parrot for the summer people to make it a gimmicky pirate restaurant. So I think instead maybe the chef's giant dog just hangs out and like sleeps on people's feet while they're dining.
Oh, I love it. Awesome. So you arrive into this much bustling, bigger, grander Grand Prometheus hotel, and you go up to the host.
Are you here for brunch?
Yes, I called ahead.
Okay. Give me a second.
And they run around trying to find you a place to sit. It's very empty. There's like nobody here, so it's really ridiculous. But this little concierge is having quite a time.
We're understaffed today. I'm sorry. I don't know where Shannon is. I'm sorry.
And is just trying to run around to different places to try to get you all set up. But eventually you get seated at a table with a view of Pet My Putty Tat, and also of the kitchen. And the big dog Bernard is already coming around for pets. What would you like to do?
I think right before the concierge, that's what we called him, right? I don't know, whatever, the host, leaves, I'll just be like, but Shannon's here today, yes?
I think so. They're just really busy. So I'm just running the front part by myself.
I guess all I'm asking is, have you seen Shannon today?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, great, thank you.
She certainly knows how to leave an impression.
Also, my menu has schmutz on it. My menu has schmutz on it.
I'm sorry about that.
Just give me a different one, honey. It's okay.
She's completely running away. All the way back around out of sight.
Like a 14-year-old.
Yep. Fantastic. Yeah, this dining hall is pretty empty. You see there's just you, and then there's one other person there, and that's it. And he looks fairly nice. I mean, everybody in Brindlewood Bay for some reason looks like smoking hot. So like he looks like he's in his late 40s and has like a beautiful cable knit sweater that is not quite like Etienne's, but it's like my favorite. It's like my kink right now, man. I just love a cable knit sweater. It's just really hot. It's really good. So yeah, this is a very smoking hot late 40s in a cable knit sweater.
No, I love it because I love cable knit sweaters too.
I don't know why
my
it's
cable knit sweater. I was wearing it the last time.
Yeah, you were. It's great. It works. Everybody should wear cable knit sweaters. They look amazing. Anyway,
They do. They make everybody look a little jacked.
yeah.
And it's you. You're the love interest.
Do we recognize this person?
I don't think so. Maybe Doris would.
The woodsman.
Because did you meet? You've met the Great Grievous.
Yeah, I think I would have at some point when I was probably helping Trudy pack.
Then let's say like you've definitely seen a picture, and this is definitely Hugh. This is his husband. This is his partner. Because gay marriage is not illegal, so we're not saying husband, but it's also partner. I don't think is quite the terminology. Dramaturg. We need a dramaturg.
Well, the first gay marriage was legalized in the Netherlands a couple years after this, but I think it was illegal in a couple different provinces elsewhere. So theoretically, they could have been married there.
Oh, great.
It wasn't that any other countries were recognizing it, but, it still counts somewhere.
Awesome. Retconned. They got married in the Netherlands.
I love that. I love that for Grievous.
That's
Yeah, I
so
think so.
cute.
Is Hugh also Dutch?
Yeah.
How's your Dutch accent, Meeks?
As you can all probably tell, my accent is greatly affected by whoever speaks first. So like, whenever Ben puts on Lane's voice, all of a sudden they're talking to somebody who's exactly that
Another
voice.
New Yorker.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the way it is. So my
so
Dutch
one of us has
accent.
to speak in the Dutch voice all the time.
I know.
I
And
don't know
then,
if you know this,
I
but they
could do it.
also speak all up here in the back
could
of
do
their
that.
throat.
Yeah.
Or just do
That's
the
what I could do.
Waluigi voice. He's Dutch.
Okay, we have to focus.
Remember,
Well-
Dungeons and Drama Nerds has said this cannot become a Brindlewood Bay only podcast.
I know, it's true. It's true.
Dad, we're taking it over.
Awesome, man.
Convoy, let's go.
Lane, I'm going to get the Florentine. Do you want to get the Benedict for brunch?
No, I was getting the Florentine.
Okay, well, that's fine. Can I just have like a bite?
Yeah, you're not getting the Florentine?
Well, I was saying, if you get if one of us gets the Florentine, then the other one can get the Benedict. You know how.
Oh, you want to split these? I'll split these. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Also, bloodies.
Bloodies all around. Also, do y'all see that guy over there?
Who are you talking to?
You can't not see that guy. Come on.
Okay,
Look
fair.
at me.
Fair. 94% sure that's Hugh.
Perfect.
Oh.
And I think it's like this moment of like huddling. We're like, how do we want to play this? How do we want to? Should we like make him come to us, or do we like bull rush him?
I feel like well, he's all sitting alone, it would be the neighborly thing to do to ask him to come to our table.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
I was going to spill something on him, so that's much better.
You can still spill something on his lap later, baby. We'll put him next to you.
So I think Doris is gonna kind of check, like, yeah, okay. And Doris will stand up and go over to Hugh and just say, "Excuse me, Hugh."
And you can see that he's reading like an Oprah Winfrey Book Club of the Month book, and he just looks like he looks startled and goes, "Oh, Doris.
Doris. Yeah.
See, I got there. Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. I know we've only met maybe once or twice in passing. But I just saw you were sitting by yourself. Would you like to come over and join us? We've got an extra seat. I don't know if you've met my friends.
Like the three of us are turning and we're just like waving, like, "Hi."
I don't know if I'm in a really good spot to be around people right now, Doris.
Oh, of course. I know. I'm so sorry for your loss. It was unspeakable.
I appreciate that. That. Yes.
Of course. Well, I mean, we if it helps, we are all also connoisseurs of the book club, and so we make chatter, but we won't pressure you to join in if you don't want to.
Sure. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Great. Come on over.
These chairs are so heavy.
Imagine Eddi-Rue like fully like bent over, like as
bodying this
hard as possible, pushing it from behind.
Because as we recall, the chairs are actually made from cannons, and so.
Oh, right.
So
Poor
it's
Bernard, it just got like,
yeah, Bernard's just like jumping around as Eddi-Rue is full on, like, almost horizontal, putting her shoulder into this cannon.
A cannonball falls out of part of the chair.
The wheels are not in the right
dislodged.
direction for the way that this is being pushed. And I'm like, "I got it, honey. I got it."
The boat lists in one direction.
It all just sort of like we've imbalanced the boat, and so now all of our drinks are a little bit awkwardly like the water level of the drinks are not level with the top of the glass anymore because the boat is tilting to the side.
I love it so much. Yeah, the concierge comes back. He's like, excuse me, please don't move the chip. This is so okay. It's
no,
done.
you don't need to help. It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
We are ready to order, though.
Okay. Let me get my
Just get
pen.
Shannon.
I'm sorry.
I just like making meats lose their shit.
Make a 4 top or 5 top.
Sorry. Anyway, Huth sits down with you all, and this concierge has gone back to find Shannon. Mostly so that I don't have to keep holding my nose, because I can't do it without laughing. All right. He sits down with you all, and is still with his finger in what appears to be I don't know what was the 90s Oprah
The
Winfrey
Joy
Book
Luck Club.
Yes, the Joy Luck Club, and he sets it down on the table and with his hands, and you can see that he also has a Bloody Mary and some sort of egg thing that he's barely touched.
Have you gotten to the luck pot of that one yet?
No, I haven't. My mind hasn't really been on the book, as it were.
Of course, but at least it could give you some joy, or perhaps if you flip to the end, some club.
Oh, I see. You were being funny. Ha ha.
I haven't read that book.
Well, we are all very sorry for your loss, Hugh. And I will say, as also avid readers, we share 2 things in common, all of us and you, in that we have all lost a husband, and we also all love to read. You are welcome to join if you ever want. We weekly, the Murder Mavens. We read these books. They're very fun. They're very light, and I have found them to be very therapeutic. So the door is always open.
And you can see he sort of softens at the fact that you all have also lost people. And he's like, it's very strange to think of oneself as a widower.
Mm. All you must know is at first you're a widow, and then you got a second partner, and then you got a third one, and then you're retired. You have a whole life ahead of you, and it's going to be wonderful, depending on the retirement.
Excellent.
That's
Yes.
generally true. Hugh, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what do you what is your vocation?
Hmm.
Do you have one? I mean, no, I don't mean to pry at all. I'm just trying to make polite conversation. Certainly just want to, just get to know you, if you would like to be known. If not, we can just sit quietly and eat whenever Shannon comes to take our order.
Well, if you must know, I mean, I had quit my job, and yes, I quit my job, and so I am between things at the moment, as it were.
Okay,
Yes.
Good for you. Follow your dreams.
yes, especially now.
Yes, indeed. And then you see running across the dining room is Shannon Doherty, and she's like pulling up her hair, and she's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm here. I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't watching TV.
Good morning, dear.
Oh, hi.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
Okay, I'll tell you. Have you all heard of this brand new show? It's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They just started their second season, and oh my God, I missed last night's episode. So don't tell my boss, okay? Because the nasally little teen out there, she doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. And she's my boss. Can you believe that she's my boss? She's my boss. Anyway, but they just had the best episode ever, I swear. So Buffy comes back and she's all like, whoa! And then she tills up the bones of the master. It's so fucking cool. It's so cool. Anyway, what can I get for you?
Whatever channel that's on, that's
Absolutely.
for sure.
It's on the WB.
Oh,
It's the most action I've had. Okay, so, ladies.
Oh, Hugh. Oh, you already have everything you need, don't you? And they sort of have this little back and forth. And she's like, okay, so you've got your regular? Great. Okay, great. What do you all need?
bloodies.
Oh, sure. Obviously. Yes.
Miss Dubois and I are going to share, we're going to do a splitsies on the Florentine and the Benedict.
Thank you, Lane.
I'll have the stuffed French toast, please, Shannon.
Very fancy, very fancy.
Well, you know what they say. When in Rome, when on a pirate
Doris,
ship.
did you smooch someone last night?
Eddi-Rue, you can always tell.
Where's
Yes.
the French toast? I know the French toast. It's your tell.
It is. Yes.
Okay. Babe, let baby order.
I will have a croque madame with the sunny side egg on top. Now.
Fantastic. Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go put your order in, and then I'm going to go finish this episode. So if it's a little bit late, don't get mad at me, okay? And whatever you do, don't bring nasal Nelly back over, okay?
Sure,
it's just annoying.
It's not like
It sounds great.
It's not like we're talking about overcooking eggs or anything.
Oh yeah.
You
it'll
want to
just
join us in the bloodies? Hugh, you want a fifth bloody?
And Hugh is just sort of looking around at all of this, just being like, I'm fine. I'm gonna stay.
We'll get him. Bring him a mimosa.
Oh, absolutely. I'll make sure that you all get a big pitcher, okay? Big pitcher,
Oh,
and
that's great.
we'll really put in the vodka instead of watering it down. All right. Just don't bug me for a little bit. All right. And she
Then
takes
you can
off.
finish your episode because you'll have us for at least a half hour.
I love brunch. This is so fun.
The best meal of the day, truly.
We're gonna need a second pitcher.
I wish we had this during the war.
And Hugh looks at you, Doris, and he goes, "So, who's the guy? I guess."
Oh, I mean, not a guy, actually. You maybe know Ginger Hale. She does the lights at the community theater.
Doris is Eddi-Rue has fallen off of her cannon.
I'm sitting this close, just
You know, we've been chatting, and we've seen some theatrical things at the same time, and yeah, we walked home together last night and had a nice little romantic kiss on the porch, and so I think I don't want to jinx it, but I think it's going well.
that's it?
You should have it take you up to the catwalk, show you around.
Oh, yeah. I might personally stay off catwalks for a little bit, but balcony would be great.
You safe when you're with her?
Good point, Lane. That's a very good point. Oh, but yeah, thanks for being excited for me, ladies. It's it's been a while. It's been a while. So
Is that why you had so much rope, you nasty girl?
Oh, can't kiss and tell, baby, but maybe we'll see.
You should not do shibari with that grade of rope. It's so scratchy.
It's true that it is the scratchy one. Was just my one of choice this morning, but I've got many different types. So
all right, good.
And you can see that Hugh is sort of like going through his brain, and he's like, so Ginger works at the theater? Didn't somebody else die there not too long ago?
Yes. Yes. It's been
What's
a while.
going on in town?
We don't know.
Well, more accurately, we do know. We solved that case.
Oh, I heard that it was an accident.
Huh. That's what they would tell you for sure.
Who told you that?
Oh, I heard it. I heard it from Tom, actually.
Oh, Tom. Heard that it was an accident. Interesting. We have our suspicions.
No, we solved the case. We provided evidence to the police, and then they bungled the evidence and blamed it on us. But you don't need to know about the legal system of this town. All you need to know is there is justice in knowledge.
Yeah, I think I want to meddle real bad here. But what I want to try and do is get Hugh on our side. Like that's what I want. I want to find an ally very badly in this. And I think I want to use sensitivity for it.
I love it.
Oh, all right. So I'm just meddling, and I'm just gonna sort of say to Hugh, like, I feel like there's been a lot of really, strange things going on. Have you noticed anything like that? Oh. My friends, that is an 11.
Yeah.
Let's let it go.
That is a whole 11.
11?
Oh,
Fantastic.
yeah.
And that's with your modifier?
That's with my modifier.
Okay, great.
+1. I have a +1 to sensitivity.
Okay, I didn't know if you were at +2 yet with that. All right.
No, but it's, oh Lord, she coming.
Yeah. She coming. All right. Yeah, so he looks at you and he's like, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because there's been so many weird things, I think, that are happening in town. You can see his whole body language is changing, and you're not really sure if it's a combination of the fact that Doris is sleeping with a woman, so like he's not the only like queer person at this table, or if it's just that, you are all widowed. But some camaraderie here has slowly built. And the fact that you're also calling out that this weird thing is happening. And he says, even when Tom was here, he wasn't really here anymore. It's the 90s. Do you know how hard it is to be a gay magician and have the career that he's built? And he wanted to throw it all away and just stay here for what? Not for me, not for the family we wanted to have. And that's what's really, weird about this, is that he became so obsessed with this resurrection thing, of like, he thought he could really, really perform resurrection. Like, not just as a gag anymore, but as like a real thing. And he had this increasing paranoia about being watched as he was delving deeper into this.
Is there a clue? Is there a specific clue that we're getting here?
So the specific one that you are getting is the resurrection. Sorry, my cat is cracking me up. Is the resurrection tied with being paranoid and being watched and unsafe?
Wow, that seems like a lot. That's so strange.
It was a lot, it was a lot, especially because, I felt like I lost my partner, like we were supposed to be in on this, and we were supposed to be like coming together to form something new. And instead he just became this totally different person.
When did this start happening?
I think like a few months ago is really when I started to notice it. That's when I moved in here. Right at the end of the summer season, I moved into the Grand Prometheus. But he'd been acting strange before that. I mean, he'd been on tour And while he was on tour, he was getting messages and things. And I don't know. I don't know who he was talking to exactly, but he'd been talking to a lot of different people. And he was really convinced that resurrection was possible, that his trick could be more than just a trick.
I have a quick game question. Does this count as being in a place occupied by the rich and famous?
Sure.
Then I get an extra clue.
You get an extra clue? Fantastic.
Even on a miss. I didn't get a 12 plus because that would have given me a void clue.
I know. I was bummed.
Me too.
Great.
That would have been fun.
Great. So, so he'll say, okay, the other thing, if I'm being perfectly honest, we've been fighting a lot for the past several months because we're trying to like start a family here. And I know that's weird. Like, I know that's like unheard of, right? It's just, but it's not. It's happening all over. It's just not happening here yet, but it is happening here just in like very secretive pockets. We really were trying to start a family here and like talking to surrogates and trying to make all of this happen. And I kind of did something I shouldn't have done. And anyway, we were going to have a baby.
Oh, no.
Well, are you still going to have the baby?
I mean, she's still pregnant, so yeah, but he was not happy about it.
Are you happy about it?
Yes, I'm ecstatic.
Then you're going to be a great single
You're going to
father.
be wonderful.
I mean, not now. I mean, I don't know if I can do it by myself now, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all very up in the air, but like this was the whole thing. This was why we were having so many problems because he wasn't here. He was here, but he wasn't here. And then this whole obsession just like it overtook his whole life.
I think we can all say, just looking around this table, sitting on our cannons, that if you need anything in this regard with raising this child, as long as you're in Brindlewood Bay, you have the four of us. And we've all done it. We're here to help. You are not alone. I'm going to put my hand on his hand. And I just say, truly.
Doris says, "Here, here," and raises the Bloody Mary glass.
Absolutely. We do it. Cheers. Let's cheers. Let's cheers to your future, Hugh.
Like all the Bloody Mary jugs just plonk and then they say, dink.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, I really don't think that Krista is very happy about everything, but I think that's great.
Krista, is she local?
Krista Junkie, she was the Great Grievous's, she's Tom's blood artist, and she's the one who is the surrogate, and she's still the surrogate. So.
Well, that's something. Krista Jinky?
Junkie, spelled like junkie. Yeah.
Ah.
Hugh, if you don't mind my asking, I've just been fascinated, but that's going to sound silly to say, but my daughter, she's I don't see her very often, but she's been really into getting tattoos lately. Fascinating. And I just was really struck by Tom's tattoo it had like an eye, and I was just curious, if you know like where he got that or what the symbology is, because Stella has a lot. She loves to tell me the story behind all her tattoos, and I didn't know that was a thing originally. I thought people just liked an image, they got it on their body forever, and okay, good for you. But so I've just been fascinated by that lately. If it's too tender of a subject, I understand, but I just wanted to see what you thought.
Yes. The Great Grievous got a tattoo. Tom got a tattoo of an eye from Salty Nancy on the not good docks, on the bad docks, at Best Bay's Tattoos. And it's fine. It creeped me out. It's just an eye. It's an eye that was open. Open eye.
Now I just want to know, did this have any correlation with when the weird things started happening?
Oh, 100% I think so, but he wouldn't talk to me about it. You would think that having a tattoo would be something you'd want to talk to your partner about, especially if you're going to put it on your neck, just saying, but no.
I think the other question is, all right, so the other question. I have a feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not a big fan of Tom's former partner, Frank.
Frank.
Spitznagel?
Frank Spitznagel?
Yeah, former partner. That's what my understanding was, that we used to be partners of magic partners. Magic partners. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Not the, is this news to you?
He's just loving watching you spin yourself into a little tizzy. And he
messing
starts
with
to
me?
laugh.
Are you messing with me?
Are you trying to meddle a little
Yes!
bit? Great. Well, let's roll it again and see what happens.
This is probably presence, which is also a 1+1. So somebody's got to roll. So that's a 9 total.
9. Great. And he goes, oh, yes, Frank. Well, what can I say? Frank likes to drink, doesn't he? Huge drinker, Frank. And it's hard to build a career when you are a big drinker and you are trying to do sleight of hand. It's just a huge problem. And as far as I know, they had many a fight about it. And he never quit drinking. So,
well, I will tell you this. He's still bad at sleight of hand.
And he looks at you and he just like does a couple eyebrows and he's like, oh, really?
He's also a financial criminal.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. We don't like him.
And Shannon Doherty comes back over and she's like tidying it up and he says, I'm so sorry, ladies, though I do have to run. Other duties call, unfortunately, at this time. I do appreciate your help. And then he gets very quiet and he leans and he goes, and if you do hear anything, I would be very curious to know where this fascination came from. Because I think, the person who died, right, at the theater was Killigan, right? And that was somebody who wasn't unfamiliar with Great Grievous and his circles. I don't know what's going on, but if I can help in any way, I would like to help.
I will just say, let's keep this on our arrangement just between us. Just because mysterious forces. And Hugh, I will tell you this in confidence. We were warned not to talk to you.
By whom?
The dean, of all people.
And like, if you two are very conspiratorially like talking like this, you just see Shannon's face like come between you two. And she goes, yeah, the dean's a weirdo.
Yeah, Lane also joins the really close huddle and says,
Yeah, what is he gonna do? Expel us?
I think in this moment, with all these 4 faces really close,
we have to get more in
Eddi-Rue,
on this.
Like it's like eyes. Eddi-Rue just looks at Lane and gives a little peck on the nose and then pulls back.
Fantastic.
Shannon, the Benedict the Benny looks great. The Florentine looks great. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Do you want to know what happened in the episode? Because I have to tell you, I was really worried that Buffy was going to like...
Is this a musical?
Yes, absolutely. Bye, Hugh.
Yeah. So she's talking to you about Buffy. And then she just goes, the Dean is really weird though. I will say that. He's a weird guy. Not my favorite.
More.
Do you want a mimosa, Shannon? We've got plenty. You made them real. They're real good.
Shannon, you can't be talking to your friends all day. I'm sorry, but you have to come back over here.
We're customers.
Oh, yes, I will be your server from now on.
Oh, what's
Shannon,
your name?
You need Nellie?
Smelly?
Nellie.
Nelly. Oh.
Are you making fun of me?
No, I just literally couldn't understand the word you said.
This is not my problem.
It's okay. Well, that's fine. Nelly, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I hope you enjoyed your brunch. Okay, Shannon, it's time to get back to work.
It's like the teacher from Charlie Brown.
Before Shannon goes, I think one of us should probably try to figure out like what she was doing during the right.
Yeah,
because she was present.
I think maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's fine. I think let's just I think conspiratorially we all just sort of lean in and Shannon's not working, though. She's just downstairs watching television.
Yeah.
Like, just not. So this is definitely a situation where as Nellie walks away and we finish our thing, I feel like it's got to be like, we got to divide and conquer here. Who's good at sneaking?
Me.
Girl, let's go. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I have to use powder room. Ladies.
We don't even notice this. It's like so normal.
I think we'll just say what we'll do is we'll be like, okay, we'll settle up and we'll be outside, baby, and then we'll look at the bill and like be like, oh, what? This isn't that. They said we didn't order this. Just totally preoccupy Nellie.
Fantastic. Yeah. So baby, you're able to like make it down. I think that because you can tell like there's not a whole lot of people here. I just want you to roll me a day move really quickly. I don't think the stakes are super high enough as a night move, but just to let me look at what the move is because I always forget. When you do something risky or face something you fear, name what you're afraid will happen. If you fail or lose your nerve, then roll with the appropriate ability. So you're just sort of sneaking around. So what are you afraid will happen if you get caught?
We'll get banned from the restaurant.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll 2d6. And then you're picking your ability.
Vitality? Oh no, I got 7.
No, that's great. That'll still work.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you still succeed. I will say, I'll say also what happens to everybody else in a minute. You all are talking with Nasal Nelly upstairs, talking very loudly with your bill. I'm going to spare you some of that scene as Baby goes down and sneaks through, and you find Shannon indeed hunched in front of a television in a break room and just like eating eggs, cold eggs, just like staring. And you can see on the screen that Sarah Michelle Gellar is like acting her little ass off in season 2. And she's just like eating eggs.
How miserable. Okay, so it's just this room that I'm looking at. Is there anything?
It's just a break room. There's towels, there's cleaning supplies. It's just like this little, yeah.
Okay, it's not really anything that I can get. I'm going to stick my head in. Just like door, wall, head. I just try to be as really subtle. Just like, what's Buffy up to now?
And Shannon like completely jumps and is like, "Oh my God, hi. Buffy is she's not doing so great, you know, like she went away for the summer and then she's coming back and like Xander and Willow are being super weird and everything. What do you need, baby?"
Oh, no, I was just interested about the show. It sounded really fun.
Oh, come sit down. She's very excited.
I couldn't.
No, come sit down. And she's like, it's almost over. And you can see that, yeah, there's like a dark scene that you can't really understand, but there's this blonde woman and she's like really upset about something. And there's a bunch of people who are hanging upside down, floating across the screen. And that's what you're sort of seeing.
Oh, my. So why are they floating?
Oh, they're being hung upside down for the master. They're trying to resurrect the master. It's a whole thing.
Oh, kinky. Anyhow, everything you tell me about this show, I just enjoy it more and more. You're going to have to remind me. Give me a call when it comes on. You're doing great for someone. But you'll definitely have to give me a call because I will forget when this show comes on.
Oh, yeah. It always comes on Wednesday nights. Yeah. No problem.
You say that like I'm going to remember it. You remember that I have been alive for more than one world war.
And
like, I don't remember those.
And she's just like not even listening. She's just like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden you see like this very overwrought blonde short person like decide to like take a sledgehammer to a bunch of bones. And she's just like, oh my God. It's just so good. It's just so, she's so upset. She's just like, how are her friends? Oh my God.
Speaking of friends, how are your friends? And we haven't seen you in so long. What else have you been up to since everything that happened?
You mean since last night?
Well, you know, it feels like a long time. Time is an interesting concept.
Are you trying to meddle there, baby?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
I'm hoping my cuteness will help. I'm at least 80. Baby, Yo, I can't math. I forgot when.
I love that she's ancient. I think that's great. She's been through a world war, a couple of them.
True.
Yeah. She's timeless.
I forgot how far apart they were. Okay. I'm gonna meddle. That sounds fantastic. Let's do some shit. Y'all are just being real quiet, sorting out your bills. It's cool.
We are not being quiet sorting out the bills. We are like arguing with each other and with Nasal Nelly and
Well, no, I think this was actually on Hugh's bill. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, we put this on ours. Oh, we did actually agree for that. No, so sorry. We can put that back on.
Keep your voices down? It's just a lot of noise happening right now, and I'm just not really sure how to deal with it.
If you think about the size of the pitcher versus the size of the mimosa glasses, I really think you're charging too much, because if I were just to pour it back in,
You're just overwhelmed with questions right now, and I need to think.
Honey. And I like rub her back like in a really inappropriate old lady way. And I'm like, but it's 1997, so nobody thinks that's inappropriate yet. And at least nobody says it. And she's like, honey, it's okay. Take your time. Do you need us to get a calculator?
I need Shannon. We're Shannon.
You need Shannon? I can go get her.
If you want a mimosa to tide your nerves over, I think we got one glass left in this pitcher.
I take the pitcher with me.
Math is just really hard. I didn't pass any classes at math ever. It's just really hard.
Anyway, baby, what did you roll in your meddling?
Jesus, I got an 8.
An 8? Great.
Yeah.
Did you want to bump that up since we're playing hard?
Hell yeah, I do.
You want to put on a crown?
Fuck yeah. Let's do it. Crown me.
What kind of crown you putting on there?
I'm searching. Hold on, I can't
Do
read
it.
that fast.
Do it, ring girl.
Okay, I'm going to use a flashback showing how you were an imperfect sister or daughter.
Great. So how is that helping you, do you think, in this moment?
Because I'm going to quickly tell Shannon, just like, obviously I asked her what she was up to, because when I was little and my parents moved to the U.S., it was a very traumatic time because none of us spoke English. And in that moment, to make extra money for us, my dad had joined a gang, and it was a very dangerous time. And so I coped by going out and doing really terrible things to deal with the grief and stress that my dad would bring home. And I just want to make sure that, Shannon, you're very special to us. And I don't want something like that to happen to you, because the scars that I have are permanent. And you are still very, very young. That's right. I'm wholesome, you motherfuckers.
And the credits are rolling on Buffy, and she's just like, yeah. Sorry, you were asking about where I was last night. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And your sister. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you know, there was this whole thing, because I missed this whole episode last night. This is the problem, right? I had to record this off the thing because there was this huge argument. There was our program's going to get a huge influx of cash from Grievous's death, apparently. He had just redone his entire will when he died. And so he's given his money to the oceanography program or to the college. I don't know, one of the two. Anyway, it was all Dr. Banerjee could talk about, and I just had to keep filing all of this stuff. And I take all of this extra fucking shifts at this place just so I can keep up with doing the work at the university, because it is really fascinating stuff. But yeah, that's where I was. That's where I was last night. But Dr. Banerjee got really excited because we were going to get all of this new money from the Great Grievous.
Wow. Well, I am so glad you got to record your episode, and I'm so glad you got to tell me about it, because I can't wait for next week. But it's been lovely catching up with you. I'm sure everyone's favorite girl with a nose problem is looking for both of us, so I will be heading back to my ladies. But don't forget to call me next week, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to watch more, this is a great show. I recorded all of season 1. I'd be happy to share it with you. It gets so much better though in season 2. I'm just so hooked. I'm just so hooked already. It's going to be amazing.
You know what? That sounds fantastic. Let's set a time for it. I've got some special tea. We'll be able to stay up and watch all the episodes.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds so great. If Nellie's looking for me, tell her that I'm not here because I can't. That voice is killing me. It's just fucking killing me, I swear. Anyway,
I never saw you. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. And baby, as you like sort of come out of it, you bump right in headlong to Eddi-Rue, who is coming to find you, in quotation, or coming to find Shannon.
Oh, great. Nellie needs Shannon, but I think we've figured out the bill.
Oh, amazing.
We'll leave her to it.
Yeah.
Mimosa?
Of course. Just
Yeah, we're out of the picture.
Yep.
That's my girl.
And in front of you is Bernard. Like he's just sort of like trotted up to you out of nowhere. And he's like coughing. He's coughing quite a bit, actually.
Bernard?
Point three things around me. Ready,
Your gloves.
set, go. Gloves.
This pitcher.
Pitcher.
A ladle.
Oh, hell yeah! All right.
A 4-foot coil of scratchy rope.
Yeah.
Okay. Bernard is a big dog, right? Like thick.
Huge, thick dog.
Okay, I am going to just put my hand inside of the pitcher and then just smack down on the back really, really hard to hopefully get Bernard to... Well, yeah, God, yeah. It's a back blow. Heimlich is upwards. But yeah.
We're going to use the ladle as a tongue depressor at the same time.
Yeah, that was actually...
I love it. And this dog is continuing to cough, but finally it expels outward, and you can see, because it rolls forward, that it is an eye, and it swivels around, and it stares up at you.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Todd Brian Backus, Percival Hornak, and Nicholas Orvis, and is mixed and edited by Anthony Sertel Dean. Our Brindlewood Bay campaign features Christopher Diercksen as Eddi-Rue Dubois, Ben Ferber as Lane Walther, Kory Flores as Bebe Garcia, Shannon Wade as Doris Mackowiak, and our keeper, C. Meaker. If you'd like to help us continue exploring the intersection of theater and tabletop role-playing games, consider leaving us a review on your podcast app of choice or supporting us and getting access to our patron-only bonus content at patreon.com/dungeonsanddramanerds. You can find our social media and website links, including our cast bios, at the link tree in our show notes. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Dungeons and Drama Nerds.